So here is my video about giving you some quick tips about being a successful student in an online course. Now, I think most of these tips also work for face-to-face classes as too. The difference is that in a face-to-face class, students are going to see me frequently throughout the week, and I can remind them about due dates and reading assignments and things like that. But in an online class, unless you actually log into the class, unless you're actually checking your emails, you're not going to get any reminders that I give you. So sometimes it's a little bit more difficult for online students because you're more independent. So again, like I said, don't let anyone fool you. Being an online student is much harder than being a face-to-face student. Even with the convenience of being able to do the course whenever you want, it still requires much more from you. So you need to be ready, and you need to do something, have a plan so that you don't fall behind or just get lost. So here are my tips. The first one is prepare, right? Accelerated does not mean pared down. Sometimes students think that an 8-week class means they do half of the work of the 16-week. No, we're doing all of the work but in half of the time. So you can see here on the screen just what that actually means. In a 16-week class, you meet face-to-face 150 minutes a week, right? And you're expected to spend 3 to 9 hours at home studying. In an 8-week class, then that means you're spending 300 minutes a week in class, and you're expected to spend 16 to 18 hours a week studying. Now, don't panic. I don't think that most of the weeks you will need more than 7 hours a week to get the work done. That's like 1 hour a day. When we're doing those bigger essay assignments, though, you might need to bump that up. It really depends on how strong a writer you are, how comfortable you feel with the assignment, and anything else that's going on in your life. But you do need to prepare to spend that much time and realize that there's not a lot of things I can do to give you a whole lot of extra time if you have some kind of personal emergency or crisis. You might have to drop the class. I will do my best to extend deadlines if it's feasible, but you need to let me know really quickly, and we'll talk about that here in one of my other points. So in order to maintain your schedule and not fall behind, you need to organize. So being prepared means that you've got a plan and you can stick to it. Now, obviously you need to modify. If something isn't working, then change it, right? But you have to be disciplined in order to make sure you're coming in regularly, doing the work, you're remembering to come in and do the work. It's easy to forget, oh my gosh, that's right, I have that assignment due, right? Because again, you're not on a schedule that I have set, you're setting your own schedule. And that might mean it's a little bit more vulnerable to those crises that come across us every day, right? Or just things pop up and your bestie calls up and says, hey, let's go to the matinee for the movie. And you're like, man, I really need to work on that essay. But your bestie's like, oh, come on, we haven't hung out in a long time, right? You got to have the discipline to say, no, we're just going to have to wait. I got to get this assignment done. It does require sacrifice, right? Some of the things that you might do is to get a daily planner. That's one of those that has every day blocked off by every hour of the day, Monday through Sunday, right? And one of the best things you can do to help yourself stay organized is to go in and actually block out all of the things that you can't budge on. So if you work 8 to 4, then you're going to X out 8 to 4 on the days that you work, because there's no fudging with that, right? I mean, you've got to go to work, right? Put in when you sleep. Put in when you've got a doctor's appointment for a particular week. Put in when you have any kind of regular activity. Let's say that you're responsible for getting your kids up and fed, and but your partner's one that takes them to school, right? So you know that you've got to get up at 6 o'clock, and from 6 to 7:30 you are busy making lunch, making for the kids, making their breakfast, getting them out of bed and all that, right? That's a commitment that you really can't get out of most of the time. So block that off. And what you're going to find is that you probably have a lot more downtime than you expected. And you can see, where are the times every day that it would make sense that I could study. Now, you might not have a lot of that time, right? You might live in a very busy household, and it's going to take everything you can to get that time, right? Again, that's what it means to be prepared, right? And remember, science shows us that it's not really effective to spend an hour or 2 hours studying. It's much more effective if we actually spend 15 to 30 minutes. So if you're having to write an essay, don't sit down and think you got to get the whole thing done and say, oh my God, that's like 4 hours. No, one day, maybe just write the introduction paragraph. That's why starting early works, right? If you know that that essay is due next Monday, you've got a week, then think about, okay, I'm going to spend 15 minutes just hashing out my introduction this morning. And then this afternoon, I know I've got another 15-20 minutes. I'm going to work on body paragraph 1, right? So again, break it down like that to work with your schedule. The other thing I would say is use your phone to set reminders for important dates. If you know essay 1 is due June 3rd, then put that in your phone and set a reminder a week, 2 weeks, 3 days ahead to let you remind. I mean, I have to do that myself with important dates so that I don't forget. Communicate. Don't wait too late, right? So check in daily with the course if possible. Don't go more than 2 days, though, weekdays, without checking in. Check your emails at least every other day. You're going to find in the Brightspace orientation a document that shows you how you can forward your student email to another email. So let's say you have a Gmail account, that's the one that you use most of the time, or like, I have an iPhone, I use my iPhone account. I get my SSC right there on my iPhone. I don't have to log into a separate account. So you can forward that to one account so it's easier to check those emails. Reach out when you have a problem or if you're not understanding an assignment. Again, don't wait too late so that you don't have time to fix whatever's wrong, right? And make sure you're reading my emails and my announcements, because that also is important, that you're getting what I'm trying to communicate to you, but also you communicate to me, right? Persevere wisely, right? Keep trying, but with an improvement mindset, right? So working hard wisely means that you're looking for ways to always be better, that you're not just going to keep repeating the same thing that's leading to a conclusion that you don't like, right? I think that's one of those, the definition of insanity is keeping doing things the same way, but expecting a different result, right? So you have to persevere. That means turning stuff in, that means doing the work, but you got to do it in a way that's smart, right? So how can you do that, right? Well, you can make sure you're reading the handouts. Look at the examples that I give you of the assignments, right? Look at my feedback if I've given you feedback on anything, right? Watch my video lectures, because I give you a lot of examples of what something might look like that you want to use as a thesis, but I also will give you examples of what you shouldn't do, right? Review those assignment instructions and the feedback before you turn something in, right? These are going to be ways that you improve. But again, perseverance is one of the most important determiners of success in all aspects of life. But if you just keep doing the same thing every time, you're not going to move yourself forward. Right? Use course resources. Check out what's available, right? I have lots of different resources that you can use. That includes videos about how to complete certain tasks. Sometimes I don't expect you to watch the videos. You kind of have an either or. Like one of the first assignments is to read about the writing process in chapters 2 through 5. And I also have a set of video lectures where I'm walking you through that, right? If you like hearing somebody talk about it rather than reading, then the video lectures would be better for you. If you'd rather read, I'm one who'd rather read because I can read faster than somebody is going to walk through it. So I prefer to read, right? So sometimes you have the option. Sometimes you have to watch the video. So again, I try to tell you if it's optional. If I don't say it's optional, then it means you need to watch it, because that is replacing our face-to-face class. Okay, I'm going to give you links to examples, to maybe research sources, online sites, textbook chapters, right? Again, these are things that can help you with the assignments. You also have opportunities to meet with me. We can schedule a phone call, we can meet via Zoom through our webcams, or we can even meet in person. If you give me enough heads up, I won't mind coming to campus. Sometimes I'm on campus anyway, like I'm going to be there this Monday teaching a new faculty member to use Brightspace. So again, sometimes I'm on campus and it's not a big deal to just stay a little bit longer. So again, I am a resource too. So make sure you're doing all those things that can help maximize your potential. So again, being a successful student requires you work hard, right? Online students must work even harder, right? So again, have a plan, modify it if it's not working, make those tweaks, right? Take advantage of the resources, including me, and again, that can help you make a passing grade. I swear to you that the only people that usually fail my class are people who don't complete enough assignments. They are cheating. They're using somebody else's work or having AI write their papers for them. They're turning in work that does not even meet the assignment, requirements, or they're not just doing anything, right? Most of the students that actually turn in work, pay attention to my feedback, improve enough that they make a passing grade. In fact, I think of the 4 Comp 2s I taught last semester, almost half of my students made A's, right? So I provide bonus opportunities. I provide chances to get feedback from me. If you take advantage of that, you should be fine. So remember, prepare, organize, communicate, persevere, use resources, and that's going to help you be more successful as an online student. So again, always reach out to me if you have a question. I really like helping students be successful. And but again, I can't do anything if you're not willing to reach out and to ask for help. So good luck. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.